Of the 7th of May 2021 to consider the placing of the LTP out for consultation. Latham, would you do the karakia?
Sure. Is it circulated on the agenda?
It's not on the agenda, but it is normally when we start the meeting.
Yes, I can do that. Just bear with. Mine's just crashed. Is that so? It's not circulated. Paul, I'm looking for your support here.
Paul, could you do the karakia, Paul, please?
Yeah, I can do it from afar. I'll do a quick one. He honore he korore he mangaronga ki te whenua whakaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Glory and honour to God in the highest and peace to people on earth. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I'll move on to item 1 of the agenda, which is the apologies. I have an apology from Councillor Kennedy and one from Francois. Are there any other apologies? Okay, so I'd like to move that the apologies be received. Accepted. So moved. Deputy Mayor Carruthers, Councillor Hart, those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. The declaration of interest has been up on the team system. It's here. And I'll circulate it. Now, if there's anyone who has a particular interest in relation to today's meeting, please place it in. And I'll now present the Mayor's statement in relation to the LTP. Councillors, today we get to consider the release for consultation of the 10-year long-term plan. What is very clear is we must thrive to survive. This year, we continue our focus to deliver accelerated infrastructure where funding is in place. Next year, it's another year of delivery, and we anticipate that by the end of the 2022 year, we will have the majority of the funded projects completed. After that, in 2023, it's business as usual, and that's where the decision of the LTP kicks in to build up a resilience fund for use in emergencies. Council has always wanted to build a fund, but other priorities always get in the way. Like all plans, by the time the Council gets to the 10-year mark, it will likely bear little resemblance to what we are considering today. The decision to defer and carry the cost of last year's projected 8.3% rate increase and bring it into this year's plan was, in my opinion, the correct stance to take. COVID-19 was ripping the world as we knew it apart, and anything to ease the immediate cash cost for our ratepayers until the recovery began was important. Today we're consulting on a 13% increase, which covers 2 years, last year's and this year. And in many ways, further increased investment by ratepayers would have made sense. There is no other monthly account we pay in our households where the level of services provides as good a value for money as councils do coastwide. Let's reflect on Council's response to COVID-19 from March of 2020, because at the end of the day, it's all about planning and looking forward. When I refer to Council, I refer to the best team of hard-working councillors I've had the pleasure of working with. And the staff, led by Simon Bastian as Chief Executive, as focused and as competent a team as any council would be lucky enough to have on its side in difficult times. Councillors and staff have proved to be solid under the high ball. The Council in March of 2020 knew that central government would need to stimulate the economy for it to survive. The first step your Council took was to establish a competent team to apply for various grants as they became available to stimulate our Westland economy. In Franz and Fox and the surrounding townships, it was clear that a 95% reduction in income due to the disappearance of international visitors would only be minimised by job creation schemes. And Jobs for Nature was a winner in my mind in South Western. The wage subsidy scheme was one of the best policies I've ever seen executed by a government department. This was done by MSD. And not every project that we considered possible has got off the ground, but when you give yourself permission to fail, you also at the same time give yourself permission to excel. I believe staff have excelled. Now I want to comment on the plan that we followed to firstly ensure that Hokitika and its surrounds were insulated from the downturn. We sought to seek government, Lotto, DWC, other funding across all council and community activities to become the #1 focus and be achieved by setting up a top application fit team. We changed the focus to 100% domestic tourism. We increased support for events. We increased our support and investment in construction around Hokitika. And we accelerated infrastructure projects, which was really important. We made the commitment to look at digging out historical dump sites near rivers and the sea, and to support any private project to gain funding. So what did it look like in early 2020? We wanted to support DOC in finding a suitable new office block in town. The Mitre 10 building is a private investment by a forward-thinking company showing the way forward in our town. We wanted to advocate to get the Western High School rebuilt after the fire finally underway, the Sunset Point restoration, the Carnegie building restoration. We wanted to accelerate cycleway enhancements and increase elderly housing stock. The events that we wanted to support and have supported: Wild Foods, Kids Day, Sand Dune Classics, Gold Rush Series, and now Matariki, South Island Ultra, which finishes here tomorrow, Coast to Coast, and a further Coast to Coast mountain bike race. We wanted to accelerate projects by gaining government grants, and that was going to keep our construction and contractors busy. Friends Rock Protection, we were looking for the north and the south side. Hokitika River, we wanted to increase the protection to 100 years. Hokitika Seawall, to extend the seawall 500 metres to the north. Extending the terminal at the airport. Upgrading the old Christchurch Road. Cron Street, Franz Joseph upgrade. The Friends Waste Water Station upgrade. The Friends Dump Station. Fox Glacier Water Treatment Plant upgrade. Plan and build the Arahura Water Treatment Plant. The Ross Water Treatment Plant intake. Franz Joseph Water Main Replacement in Cron Street. Wanted to scope the Canary Sewerage Pump upgrade. The Fitzherbert Street Waste Water, put in a standby generator. Friends Waste Water Pump Station upgrade. Accelerated the scoping for the Beach Street realignment. Accelerate scoping for the Jolly Street Stormwater upgrade. Upgrade the Sewell Street Pump Station. Accelerate the Livingston Street Pump Station and pipeline upgrade. Cap the Haas Dump. Sunset Point and Beach Road. Road to be sealed, power on at the Tambo, new toilets, furniture installed, rubbish bins, plants and grass. They were all part of plan going back to July of 2020. We looked to dig out historical dump sites, in particular the one at Fox, and dig a new cell for our waste at Butlers. Wanted to ensure that funding for the Mayor's task force would be extended into the following years. And we've been awarded a further 200,000, and we anticipate a further 500,000 at the 1st of July. important to support private enterprise. And we sought to find funding to restore Seton House. And how exciting it was when Heritage New Zealand bought the building and announced a $22 million restoration. Probably the most exciting event during my time on council here by a country mile. And then we moved to Friends and Fox, because the reality was we can't fix the fact that the international visitors are not there. PGF have just granted $12 million to be released for the rock protection work on the north bank of the Waihao. And Minister Nash to be congratulated for the way he handled that. We made the positive decision to accelerate expenditure, infrastructure spend in Fox and Friends. So $1.5 million was released and tenders let for the upgrade of Cron Street and an accelerated spend on footpaths in Franz Joseph. And these projects are all either underway, about to be underway, or will be underway and will roll into this coming year and the year after. The Ross, Harry, and Franz Joseph water mains replacements were accelerated and the contracts have been let. The Fox and Haast water mains replacement contracts have been let. Haast, Franz Joseph, and Fox wastewater main replacements contracts have been let. Friends adding extra reservoir capacity, accelerated this project, and the tenders were let on the 16th. Harry, add extra reservoir capacity, tenders let on the 16th. So these projects have been accelerated. It all costs money. And when we look at our rate increase, I'm surprised we've been able to keep it as low as we have over the 2-year period. Predator-free Southwestland, run by Zip and DOC, is a project that will minimise the damage to our communities in Southwestland and create a stable part of the Franz Fox community until at least 2030 and beyond. And their projected funding of $45 million has been announced. The Penami Pathway for Haast, Hokitika, Greymouth and Westport, $18.9 million approved. Project is underway. We need to ensure that any rebranding in Glacier Country captures the marketing advantage that the Penama Trail will bring to Southwestland. We've advocated for an international centre of excellence for conservation in Fox and Friends. It's a major initiative and we'll keep advocating for it. We've advocated for the CMS review of the dock management plan to be accelerated. And the principal reason behind this is that a gondola on the Franz Joseph Glacier, which has been scoped, would be a South Island game changer. We're pushing for geothermal investigation on the fault line with GNS, and the potential for Franz and Fox is immense. And university programs, where science studies on global warming from the sea to the mountains with permanent classrooms. These are things that we as a council are advocating for. A museum in New Zealand, in Glacier Country, a museum of New Zealand, including Southwestern's aviation, ski planes, helicopters, venison hunting, timber mills. There's nothing like that down there, and it will once again be a game changer. Our priority, which you'll have seen in the paper at the present time, is we want all government departments to move their buildings off the Alpine fault line. We approached them in 2018, we approached them 3 months ago, we approached them a week ago. Department of Conservation, New Zealand Police, our community centre, and fire station. The service station, although privately owned, needs to be moved. All of the buildings to be moved into a welfare zone, which will accelerate the move to the north of Friends. Seeking the release of a block of stewardship land at the 55k corner. All the way through, we've assumed there will be a buyout of the south side of the Waihao. That's a government decision, but it's something that we advocate for. The rebranding of Glacier Country. And it kind of forms part of everything we're doing. It needs to include Whanami Pathway, and we need to ensure any rebranding in Glacier Country captures the marketing advantages for the coast that South Western brings. It's a World Heritage Area. Glaciers that cascade into the native forests as seen from Fox. Glaciers you can fly to and land on. Perhaps an international centre of excellence for conservation and a wellness destination. That magnificent environment and southwestern predator-free, a huge selling point. So here we are in 2021. In the next 10 years, look to be very exciting. The town of Hokitika will be different from what we have today. Seton House will have been restored. Carnegie Building will have been restored. The library will be relocated to a council-owned building. Council's main building will have been earthquake strengthened. A civil defence headquarters will be built and up and running at the airport. Infrastructure will, for the most, be in excellent condition. And house prices in our area will continue to outperform other areas. As it always has been, Westland will continue to be a brilliant place to live, work and play. As I said at the start, we must thrive if we are to survive. And I commend this LT plan to you, councillors. Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce. That was actually very informative. Awesome report.
When you listed out, it's huge, isn't it?
It's absolutely very impressive.
Move on to item 3 of the agenda, which is the staff reports. First report is the adoption of supporting policies and documents to the revenue and financing policy consultation, concurrent with the long-term plan document. And I invite Leslie to the stand. Leslie, first, congratulations on the fact that we're here on time. I know I've seen the lights burning here at 11:30 at night, so don't think we don't know. It's all good.
Very hard on this. Good morning, everyone. The object of this report is to adopt these supporting documents and policies to the revenue and financing policy, and also to receive the audit management, the audit report. Sorry, my computer's falling on the stand. The policies and principles have not changed. We have made no changes to our rating system. We still believe it is fit for purpose, so we have not been required to change any of these policies. Small updates for dates and naming of activities where there's been small change, but other than that, they've not changed. The audit report has got emphasis, has 3 emphasis of matters in the report, but it is not a qualified report. All an emphasis of matter is to draw the reader's attention to a particular point within a document. So the first one is uncertainty of the delivery of the capital programme. We have got a very ambitious capital programme, as has already been stated by his worship. And the audit team just want to draw your emphasis to that. Sorry, the sound came back on. Just want to draw your attention to that fact. They also state that we have mitigated the risks around that, and that we have put steps in place to be able to meet that, the delivery of that. The next emphasis of matter is on the uncertainty of the Three Waters renewals forecast. Basically, council is still using age-related information to determine our renewals. We have got a programme of works that we have currently in progress, which is to look at condition assessments that will give us more understanding of those renewals and when we need to carry them out. We are prioritising renewals of critical assets. And the third emphasis of matter is regarding the Three Waters reforms. So it's just drawing attention to the fact that there could be big changes in this area, which at this moment in time we don't know what that will be. This is an emphasis of matter that's in all councils' audit opinions. The stance. So I'll answer any questions.
Thanks, Leslie. Councillors, pretty much unchanged documents, and you have the three issues highlighted. Pretty straightforward. Can we deliver? Three audit reforms, based it's a Wellington issue, and renewable assets reform replacements. Start with you. Do you have any questions, Councillor Kay?
No, I don't, Leslie, and thank you very much to yourself and your team for being able to put on all that extra work to be able to get it to this point. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you. I'll pass that on to the
Yeah.
Councillor Davidson.
No questions. Thanks.
Paul.
No question, thanks.
Councillor Hart.
No questions, but thank you very much, Leslie. I appreciate the time that you've put into it.
Thank you.
Councillor Hart.
Thank you.
Councillor Lim.
Likewise, thank you.
And Deputy Mayor Crowley, want to wrap it up?
And my congratulations, Leslie, and to your team, and others. Really appreciate the effort. And I think our integrity as a council and reputation has, in the last few years, really improved immensely. And I think that's fantastic for us going forward. So, many thanks, much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
I invite Councillor Hart to move the following resolution that A, Council receives the report, B, Council adopts the appendices, documents and supporting policies and principles to the revenue and financing policy and for consultation components of the LTP. Do I have a second?
I'm happy to second.
Councillor Cohen. Thank you very much. Those in favour?
Aye.
Move on to the adoption of the revenue and financing policy for consultation concurrent with the long-term plan. And please, yours.
Okay, the revenue and financing policy under the Local Government Act must be consulted on. So we've made no changes again to this document because it's quite broad ranging and covers our rating system as it stands. Small updates to it to, again, for dates and naming changes, and potentially just a few changes to the percentages of rates funding to some of the activities. Other than that, there's no changes. I don't have any questions.
Are there any questions from the floor? Okay. I'll invite a councillor to move that A, Council receives the report, B, that Council adopts the revenue and financing policy attached as Appendix 1 for consultation concurrently with the long-term plan. Consultation is provided by LGA S83A. Do I have a mover? Councillor Martin, do I have a seconder? Councillor Davidson, thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Move on to the adoption of the draft long-term plan 2021-2031 and the consultation document. Welcome, Emma, and once again, I know how much work you've put into this. You must be very proud of it.
I am. Thank you. So the documents, good morning everyone, the documents have been circulated prior to the meeting. So I would just like to take the report as read and ask if there are any questions on that.
Thank you. Councillor Coe.
No, I don't have anything to say on the reports. They're extremely well done and very comprehensive. So no, thank you very much, Emma.
Councillor Davidson.
No questions. Thank you.
Paul.
Thank you, Worship. Just a couple of minor corrections. It's a very thorough report, so well done, Emma. I'm recorded as Ngāti Makawhio, but that's no such thing. Makawhio was the place. It is Ngāti Mahaki. If we could just correct that, and also throughout the in the consultation and treaty relationship with mana whenua, it refers to Potini Ngaito as being Ngāti Mahaki from Te Ruranga o Makawhio, and Ngāti Waewae from Turunanga o Ngāti Waewae, plus also Turunanga o Ngaitahu, which is incorrect. Potini Ngaitahu is just Makawhio and Ngāti Waewae, not Ngaitahu from over the hill. So if we could just correct that, but that is unfortunately been sprinkled throughout there, and that was all.
Councillor Hart.
Yeah, thank you.
No questions, but a very thorough report, and I appreciate all your hard work.
Councillor Martin.
Third long-term plan that I've been involved in. I really appreciate the work that staff put into this. The next 4 weeks are going to be critical for engaging our community, and a lot of that will be educating the community in terms of what the council has achieved in the past 12 months as per his worship's speech, as well as looking forward. And it's our turn, it's our time to be bold and to take the district forward in the direction that we see fit. And I think this document allows a platform to do that. There's some tough questions in it that we're going to be asking the community. There's going to be a lot of discussion with the community, I'm sure, about some of the projects and some of the direction, but this document sets it out very clearly in terms of what we're intending to achieve and our preferred options. So I'm really looking forward to the next month, and I know that this document set a platform for us to engage with our community very successfully. So thanks, Emma and your team, for your work, because it is appreciated and it helps us to do our job. So thank you.
Thanks, Councillor. Councillor Lim.
Yeah, no questions. Thank you very much, Emma, for your work. And likewise, I hope we do get good consultation happening with the communities and people do come forward and have their say. Thank you.
And Deputy Mayor Carlos.
I just endorse Councillor Martin's comments. It's not called a long-term plan for nothing, because it's very long. It's 137 pages, and certainly one of those formidable documents that I've seen. One wonders why so much time and effort has to go into preparing such a document, but it really encapsulates and summarises everything we do and are doing here, and therefore it's a fantastic document. So let's hope that the community sees it the same way, and that they, in that spirit, will participate in the consultation and get it sorted out. So many thanks. Much appreciated.
I'd like to move and ask the Deputy Mayor to consider seconding the following resolution. A, that the Council will receive the report. B, Council adopt the draft long-term plan 2021 to 2031 and consultation document, taking into account the matters raised by Paul in relation to the correctness of names and intention with regard to iwi. And that C, Council direct staff to undertake consultation with the community. Seconded. Councillors, biggest decision of the year. All those in favour?
Aye.
Those against? Well done. Thank you, Emma.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, just a question around that as well when we talk about going out with the consultations. So I've just had a couple of just concerns from the community groups around them not being aware of them coming up, and I'm just wondering, are we going to also give a bit of a plug directly? Could we email perhaps these? I mean, I've done it with Kamara and Ross.
Yep.
And raised it again, but I just wondered if we could have an email from council that will go directly out to the community groups as well, for them to, be able to promote out too. And there was a question around with, I know with Kamara, just around that time of 4 to 5, because, and I just wondered that those times of 4 to 5, are they the right time of day to have it, because we do need engagement, and I'm just conscious people generally work through the daytime. So
Very good points, and you will have seen yesterday that Sarah sent out an email with a very comprehensive list of times and dates. The consideration of the changing of the times in Kamara areas underway at the present time.
Great.
Obviously, we need to get as many people engaged as we possibly can, because this is very important, and it does set the platform for the next 10 years.
Yes, absolutely.
But,
and I know it's an extremely comprehensive long-term plan, and probably a big ask, but once, I know this is still draft stage, but once it is actually all done, as councillors, are we able to please get a hard copy of it?
hard copy of the document.
Yes.
No problems there.
For those.
Yeah. Would you like to indicate around the table who wants a hard copy so that I can?
Talking about when it's adopted, Your Worship.
Yeah.
So after
It says to draft for consultation.
It will just be a printed copy. It won't be it won't be taking the document out for professional printing.
Oh, no, absolutely not, no.
But after it's adopted.
After it's adopted,
Yeah.
we will just print it and bind it.
Yeah.
So it's clarified there. So this is when it's adopted. And how many? Oh, I guess everyone will have a copy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it governs. It's like our Bible, really,
It's
isn't
what we
it?
read at night.
Yeah, it is.
The Bible, how very topical.
Yeah.
Well, look, councillors, thank you so much for attending today. I guess the final part, I do want to compliment you as a team of councillors, because all of the things that have been achieved, because the world did get turned upside down in March of 2020, none of you flinched. Everybody held the line, and I really want to congratulate you on that. I think the way that our staff have performed, it's just been a pleasure to be involved. Well, not everything goes right, that's life, but the final result, sticking to the plan, has been so important and so critical. So congratulations to staff, and if anyone else wishes to close off before I close the meeting.
Congratulations to you, Your Worship, for leading us so competently and strongly through a difficult period. I think listening to your speech before, it was quite inspirational, I think, and makes us realise that not only we live in a great place, but we're fortunate to be so well led here. And the next period of time for us as a council is exciting. That's a good deal of thanks for that needs to go to you. So thank you for what you've done and for the leader that you've been with you.
Thank you, Dave.
I think we should move that we formally accept your speech as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, I'm also going to suggest too, Bruce, because that report is and pretty much sums up, exactly what has been going on for the last year and a half. Could I ask that an emailed copy of that be sent out to all of us as councillors as well, because I also think that that's an important document for us to have on hand when we're out and we're talking in the community. And it was what we talked about just last week about doing that summary.
I was asked by a reporter yesterday about the current council, and I said, this is the only council I've been involved in where I haven't made one decision. I haven't made a decision. I've chaired the meetings and the decisions have been made. It's been a really enjoyable experience, I would say. So thank you so much, and on that basis, I'll declare the meeting closed at 9:34.